2, 3. Sorry. Yeah.
Put a hat on.
Put a hat on. Yeah, shouts out to Hospital Record family. Hope you're tuned in. If you're not, fuck all these.
So, hi everyone who is watching. Today we have... Hey! Our mic is on. Today we have Chris Inperspective here on Hong Kong Community Radio ahead of his appearance this Saturday at Outlook Shenzhen launch party. So, I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Okay.
So, who are you? And
Who am I?
how did you end up here today?
Well, we got a taxi, didn't we, from the ferry? But sorry, which is crazy, by the way. So my first Hong Kong taxi experience. I suppose how this all came about was just getting to know Lyndon, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think my relationship with Jeremy Sinistar, shouts out to Sinistar, all the American junglists out there. Shouts out to Esteban Perry if you're tuned in. And yeah, I mean, we got chatting a little while ago. There was some conversation about different things, you know, like with med school and everything else. Obviously, you know, with running med school, label managing med school, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
There was some conversation there, but until they could afford to do that, then it was cheaper to get me over. So yeah, I mean, it's we're sort of in a situation now where it's a very exciting time for this area, you know, this part of the world, and there's. I think you know, I think a label like Inperspective and I think many artists can maybe come out here and see what's available, and actually not just come out here, but try and find ways of getting people from here over to Europe. That's certainly one of my aims.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's just basically knowing Lyndon and the Unchained crew, which you are a part of, I know. Unchained, represent. So yeah, it was just come out and play some beats with people, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So, Inperspective, that is your label.
Yeah.
And you're the label boss of that. And what is this tune that's playing right now?
So this one in the background, which is almost at the end. This one was Tech Unlimited, which was an alias of the infamous Equinox. So if you like your underground jungle, it's definitely someone I would say you check out. It was a very interesting time when we wrote this, when this tune came out. It was like back in the sort of earthier, kind of more feral days of jungle, when things weren't all weren't contracts flying around and stuff like that, like you do nowadays. It was like things were done on a handshake. I mean, it was mastered by a guy called Gus. Yeah, it was Gus. I'm pretty sure his name was Gus. At Jatabi Sound, JTS in Homerton in East London. And I think we had an 8 o'clock appointment to get this mastered.
Right.
Because it was going to come out on vinyl, right? And we arrived and he had just cans of beer everywhere in the studio. It was a great
experience.
experience. The logo itself, the first version of the logo on this release was done by Marlon's cousin, a guy called Derek Lewis. Okay. So props to Equinox, props to Derek Lewis for that first edition of the logo. But then it evolved into this, which we now see, which was designed by ASC, who you might know, who's an incredible sort of like left field electronic artist. But the original premise of the label was quite simple. The two labels I loved the most were Good Looking and Reinforced. Okay. And I liked and when you look at my collection, that's like the two labels that I have the most stuff of. I mean, I wasn't so much into the sort of Tom and Jerry stuff, but just like a little bit later on, when it got a bit more progressive, Alpha Omega and, all those sorts of guys. Journey to the Ninth Level is one of the greatest. If you don't know this album by Alpha Omega, for example, on Reinforce, Journey to the Ninth Level, go and check it out. It's one of the greatest drum and bass albums ever made, and that's on Reinforce. In the same vein, the Everglades EP, I can't believe I'm going to big up fucking Marigold, but Everglades EP by Blue Martin on Good Looking Records, just outstanding. And when you've got music like that to influence you, it's really easy to kind of get motivated and do things yourself. So that was part of the reason why I started the label. And also, actually, tell a lie, it was 97, so we were just at the height of that whole tech step. No U-turn, like Ed Rush and Optical. Well, not quite Optical, and Ed Rush hadn't quite formed yet, but Ed Rush was around Nico, all that stuff. And going to like Blue Note and hearing a lot of that sound. And before that, though, there was a lot of syncopated beats, there was a lot of syncopated rhythms, and people were doing choppage and stuff more. And then that sound came in and came through, and basically people stopped playing chopping, basically. Pulp Fiction by Alex Reese. No disrespect to metalheads. Obviously, I'm playing with Ant-TC1 tonight, on Saturday, so I'm not looking to disrespect them. But, I always felt that tune has a lot to blame, a lot to answer for, because I feel like it killed creativity in like beat programming, at least. And I've been very vocal about this tune. Everyone that knows me knows I don't like that tune. But the reason why I don't like it, and I love Alex Reese, but the reason why I don't like it is because when it came out, everyone tried to copy it, and then everyone sounded like that tune. They couldn't just let that tune rest, and So, like with a lot of things I've done in my life, it's sort of born out of anger, really, and frustration. And that's how I started Inperspective and then Technicality, because once we started Inperspective, we wanted to do more choppage stuff in a time when people weren't making choppage stuff. Then we needed a place to play it, so then that's where Technicality, the event, started. It just sort of like grew from there, and here we are now, sort of like 20 odd years later, and we're evolved into what I would consider just a left field electronica label now, which you'll see later on with some of the new music that we got.
All right, sweet. So let's play this track and see what it's all about.
So this one, So this one, while the intro is coming in, so there's three guys from Birmingham, and shout out to Blame, 720 crew, all the 720 family, and this is Pariah. Now, not the new Pariah, the RNS one. There was three guys from Birmingham, all like Muscle Mary types, and they used to make the most amazing sort of ethereal electronic sounding, and I felt and they were like, to me, they were like huge at the time, right? So the fact that I got chatting to them and they just had two tunes that I loved that was spare and were available, and they let me have them, and so I still to this day got to big up the Pariah boys for putting me on the map, because I think having Pariah on the label straight after the first release gave us a little bit of sort of respect. You know what I mean? People thought, oh, right, well, if you can have Pariah on the label, then you must be kind of decent. So So yeah, that's kind of where it is. So yeah, that's where we were. And so this one's Forbidden Groove. Pariah. All these tunes are available on Spotify and all your streaming services and platforms. So you know we on Tencent and all that. So get on there. So let's check that out. Yeah, definitely. Oh, shit. Thanks, boss. Glad you like the thighs. I worked on them very hard, but they're bitten with mosquitoes right now. Absolutely eaten up. But we're so high up, by the way. So I know I'm chatting over the tune, but it's really high where we are. You know how I feel about heights. I ain't feeling that. It's pretty high. So I'm just gonna keep looking this way, and then I'll be alright.
Flat Earth crew.
Ollie, idiot. I saw the curvature of the earth on the plane. You can actually see it. I took photos for you. You know what? I'm going to blow up his spot. 1 second. So, I want to blow up his spot. So, the merchandise designer, right, Ollie Owens, who works at Hospital Records, is a flat earther. I'm blowing him out. I'm calling him out. I'm sorry.
He's blocked.
He's a flat earther, mate. It's just embarrassing. I love him, but Ollie, sort it out. You can see the curvature of the earth from the plane. When I'm flying from Abu Dhabi to here, you can see it. You just have to look at the fucking plane. It's really simple. All right, mate? Cheers. Oh, what? No. Hospital. Well, no, that's another one of my bosses now. So that's Chris Goss.
Hey Chris, how's it going?
I'll get you a shirt when I get back. I'm sorry, Chris. And actually, I'll owe you a hoodie as well. I think you asked me for a hoodie in the first couple of months when I started, and I never got you one either. But yeah, thanks. I'll get you one. Yeah. Right, well, we've only got an hour, innit? Yeah? Okay. This is going to be the worst show ever, isn't it? It's going to be pretty relaxed, is it? No? Have we had worse? Who's been the worst guest you've had?
I'm not going to say that.
Oh, okay. Tell me after then, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, but it's not me. Oh, it might be. Yeah, okay, I know. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, okay. All right, might be. See how we go.
Hey Sunny, what's up?
Yes, Sunny. How you doing? Kevin, see you, brother. Oh yeah, and Ed, I love you, man. And going out to Dave slowly every time. Nikki, going out to Gemma, going out to Romy, going out to Megan, going out to Tilo, going out to Josh, going out to Ali, going out to James, going out to Marigold, going out to Ellen, going out to David, Harry, big up. I think I've forgotten someone. I've forgotten, remind me. But yeah, I love you all. And going out to my Inperspective family always. And yeah, I haven't been drinking.
You haven't?
No.
Really?
No.
Sure?
Positive. I love this tune. I was so pleased to get it. It's just still proud now. I'm still chuffed that I have it. So I've got to tell you about the next one. So I got back. So this shows how long ago this was. I got a cassette sent to me by a guy in Scotland who was living in Edinburgh at the time. Oh no, he wasn't. Oh no, he was living in Edinburgh at the time. Yeah, he was living in Edinburgh at the time. And his name was Alexander Han Schoenberger, and shortened to Sandy. And he basically, I went to meet him, and he looked like a neo-Nazi. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was. I didn't think he had. Like, I thought he was gonna kill me. But yeah, he has been a very long-term friend of mine, and probably one of the first tunes that kind of brought us out to the wider world, that got people paying attention to us, was Darker Self, and that was by Senses, and it was definitely one of the tunes that kind of, for me, is kind of the linchpin tunes in the label's history. I just realised that I've forgotten to add one of the other tunes on my thing, but this is like the first one, and this epitomises for me what Inperspective really is about. It's about the beats, it's about the atmosphere, it's about the attitude, it's about the intent behind the music, and yeah, that's what it is. So this next one after Forbidden Groove is Senses, Darker Self. So check this one out.
Sweet.
Going out to Ike Turner. Not for any of his, marital stuff, but just for the fact that this break is from the Ike Turner band, and yeah, so that's why. So yeah,
cool.
Forget about what he did with Tina Turner. Just think about the fact that his beat. I'm going to stop talking right now. I think I'll talk myself into a hole.
Right now.
Yeah, I think I'll talk myself into a hole here. But you know what I'm saying. You separate the man from the actions, innit? Yeah, from the art, from the, Stop listening to Michael Jackson.
So you're not responsible for your words?
Yeah. No, I think we're all responsible for what we do, but I just think that there's limits to.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway. Yeah. So this, oh, wow, really loud. So this tune came out around the time we started Technicality at Herbal. Shouts to Chris and Spencer. I don't know where the fuck those two will be now. I know they used to run Herbal. Great guys. I really love their drugs though. So it probably wasn't like the best run club in the world, but it had great atmosphere, man. And we had some legendary lights down there. We were there 4 years, and this tune just kind of reminds me of that time. And like the birth and the inception of Inperspective and Technicality, and the,
right.
sort of like the legacy that we now have. So yeah, it was a really important tune for us, and it brought a lot of people. You know, Bailey. This is when Bailey started to support us on Radio 1 Extra with this one, and then that sort of opened us up to the wider world. And you know, it's an incredible 20 years because obviously you've seen the progression of what the types of music people have been sort of getting into across the board. You know, obviously you've got like, you know, super hyper liquid and Belgian jump up and all these different things now, but back then, I mean, this was considered like the most sort of experimental, cutting edge shit.
Sure, and people would still categorize this as experimental, like nowadays. That's what you label it on Bandcamp as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you talk, the reason why is because if you talk to the average drum and bass fan now today, 2019, and you play them the Inperspective catalogue, that's how they describe it. Because I just think, you know, I think a lot of people have, I'm going to try and say this without insulting anyone, but I think a lot of people have sort of fallen into a bit of some traps. And I don't mean the music, I just mean in terms of like how this music, how this music can be presented. I think this music, drum and bass, can be presented in a lot of different ways, and it could be interesting, it could be entertaining, and it could be accessible if people are willing to listen. It's always a bit of it's always been a bit of a bugbear for me. You know, about how I've presented Inperspective. What is it? Are we experimental? Are we electronica? Are we what? At the end of the day, I just like my beats, man. It's all about the beats.
So, sorry. No.
No, so I mean, it's just always been that's been the main thing. It's always been about the rhythms, the beats, and you know, exciting people. Like what I didn't want. This is what I know. What I didn't want is for people to listen to an Inperspective tune and go, yeah. Like I wanted them to either fucking hate it or absolutely love it.
Right.
You know, being disinterested, you know, in music is never it's not for me. It's not for anyone. We want to be engaged on some level. Even if you fucking hate something, that's fun too.
Yeah.
And like, I get a bit of a kick out of playing certain people's music in DJ sets because having everyone go nuts is incredible, but also having everyone go, at the same time is also great.
It's
so
the reaction.
Yeah, it's about the reaction. So, you know, later on, I'll hopefully, if we have time, I'll get to play some Profane. And who's one of the artists, sort of the new school of Inperspective, and he does that. He makes people go, like, do you know what I mean? Like, literally, what am I listening to? I don't understand it. So, yeah. But I suppose as time went on, you know, we started to get to know more people. By this time, we'd sort of got to know the bass bin guys. Shout out to Rohan, all the bass bin family. Rest in peace, Stacks. Big you up, brother. And Subtle Audio, another label out of Limerick, another label out of Ireland was kind of coming about, and maybe a few years after this, maybe Subtle Audio started. So shouts to Connor, Subtle Audio, and I was introduced to a young man called Polska, and we did an EP on there, which again, I'm proud of every single one of my releases, right? Like, well, maybe bar one, but which is my own, but I'm really particularly proud of this because this is the start of when I was saying to artists, look, I want you to do drum and bass, but let's try, you've got, 3 minutes on the end of each side to do something else. So let's see if you can do some offbeat things. So this is one of the first sort of like downbeat weird things that people really, really kind of paid attention to. And this is a track entitled Caution, actually, when I've queued it up. Sorry. This is a track entitled Caution by Polska. And as you'll see, it's very, very different to what we were doing previous to that. But the beats are still there, though. Don't get twisted. The beats are still there. Yeah.
The kind of sound that you push has been called many different names over decades, right? Over the decades.
Yep.
Choppage,
yes, I'm old.
drum funk. Sorry, not to give away your age here. Edit, breaks, jungle.
Yeah.
Even drum and bass sometimes.
Yeah.
What ties them all together? You know. What is the universal?
This is going to be the most arrogant answer to a question ever, but it's me. Like, not to say like, oh, I created all the tunes, but obviously it was my taste that drew a line for all the music, right? So I was trying to create a universe where, or I still am trying to create a universe where artists can truly be free with their expression and not be afraid to be a bit weird and not be afraid to be a bit different. And, you know, like I said, with some of the guys that I'm working with now, so I've got to go quick shouts to them. So Profane, you know, Earl Grey, Future T, Lynch Kingsley, with these guys in particular, Will Miles, you know, they're not afraid to have a little go at being a bit off key, a little bit off kilter. And I mean, what that is to one person is going to be different to someone else. I can only give you what I think it is. And, you know, in the coming year, I'm really excited about where Inperspective is going to go, because I know that two of the projects in particular wouldn't necessarily be considered drum and bass, but I still feel like they will have a sound and ethos that marries and fits in with what has been previously done over the years. So it's just a matter of just finding good music that I enjoy and hoping that I can get people to enjoy it too. You know, but the terms I've got. So people use drum funk a lot. That term that's Dev's term. Paradox, sorry, Alaska. So that's what he called his music. And I think sometimes people get a little bit, oh, all of this stuff is drum funk. I think what Dev does is drum funk. I don't think what a lot of the other people do is the same thing, because literally Paradox will have a tune which is just a break, you know what I mean, essentially in a bass line. You know, when he does the stuff with Nucleus, that's when you see a little bit more sort of imagination and musicality, but all of it is fucking amazing. Like, you know, but my favourite Paradox tunes are always the ones when he works with Nucleus. So Fuzzy Something in particular is just, see, Nick's nodding, Nick Unchained, shout out to Nick, he knows Fuzzy Something is a fucking tune. And like, They Choose to Perplex, I think that might be just Paradox though, but They Choose to Perplex, those are two of my other tunes. Just fill me with pure rhythmic joy. Like
rhythmic
that's
joy.
Yeah, that's all they do. They just fill me, and as do all the music on my label. So like, this is Breakage doing weird avant-garde left field techno. And that's why I wasn't going to play any of his other stuff, because we all know what James does.
Yes.
He's an incredible talent. We know what he's done on bass spin. We know This Too Shall Pass. We know what. But Oh Yeah, which is the name of this tune, like, just was amazing to me when he said it to me. I was just like, what the fuck is this? Let's put this on the release. You know what I mean? So this was on one of the releases, number 12, and Inperspective number 12. And I'm really proud of this one, because it's like, yeah, we're putting weird little techno tunes on, or house, I don't know what you want to call it, whatever it is. It's just good music that James made, and I wanted to put it out. So yeah, I mean, I've given it all about the beats and stuff, but I just think it's about freedom of expression as much as possible within the universe that we have. And, you know, I'm really excited about, again, like I said, about the future and what that means for us and what we can do. But yeah.
And how does the way you feel and experience music affect the way that you act as an A&R or a label manager?
I listen to it as a fan first, and then I listen to it as a fan first, and then over time, I guess I've got to shout out the guys at Hospital, because obviously working with guys whose music might not necessarily be my first choice in taste has really strengthened me, and I think it's given me a set of skills that I didn't know existed really. Without naming names, there's artists that I work with now that I might not necessarily play their tunes in my set, but I really like their music, and I've learned to respect them as artists, and I've helped them sort of, I've helped them finish their projects on time, hopefully, gosh. And to a decent level, you know, to an exciting level, and that's going to excite people, whichever sort of field of music they want to attract their fans to.
Right.
Do you see what I mean? So I'm rambling a little bit. It is quite hot in here. The air conditioning's off. But yeah, it's always been a goal of mine to as well as the reinforced good-looking thing, you know, Warp Records is a label that I worship at the altar at, and so I think some of that comes from there as well. Just being free, you know, and just being expressive. And,
just being themselves and making music from their soul.
Making music from their soul.
Not conforming to anything.
And definitely not conforming. That's the thing. I think it's non-conformist attitude. I'm a maverick at heart, and I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But this tune, for example, is Troubled Mind. This is by Equinox. And this is just pure, again, just... Yeah, anyway, I won't talk about it. Just listen to the tune. Big shouts going out to Matt Moss and Colts Muffet. Love you both, you know why. 1, 2. There's one quick thing now I just want to say, real quick actually. Equinox, who made this track, Troubled Mind, we were talking about beats and styles and stuff, and one of his catchphrases he always said, which has applied itself to not just my label, but I think in a lot of labels, shout out to Rupture and people like that. The songs and the beats, that was what he always said. For him, the actual melody of a tune was in the manipulation and the editing of the breaks.
Right.
So if you take what he does on his label, Scientific Wax, which I would highly recommend any person who likes jungle to go and listen to, you get to hear his thing just condensed down to the rawest form. So you've got Nebula and Dub One, all the guys that have represented him on Scientific Wax, and it's taken it to another level with his label. But yeah, I mean, this was a great track for us, and it's an amazing beat, amazing break. Funky Nassau, I believe is the name of the break. For the breakbeat man's them. But the next tune, I've got to give a bit of a sad one really, but one of the artists on my label, Andy Scopes, which many people may or may not know him, but he passed away in February. Brain cancer. He was sick for a few years, and the last release he did for me was a track. It was a pitch disc actually, and it was "Who Are You." And this track was fantastic. So rest in peace, Andy. I'll see you soon, my brother. And not like in a weird suicide way, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Jump out of this. We're really high up, by the way. I just want you to know I'm shit scared of heights. And every time I look out there, we're like 40 floors up. It's just not even funny. But anyway, all right. But this one's "Who Are You?" Shout out to Andy Scopes. Rest in peace, brother. Actually, shout out to Denial as well. Rest in peace. Obviously, H. And just all the junglers, Spirit. Shout out to rest in peace, my brother. So I know I'm talking about death, but we were just talking about, But it's just, that's what's great, because this is what I love about creation, artistry, because even if someone's gone, their art is still here. They live on, like, forever. This tune's going to exist forever now. Like, for eternity. So that's what I love. But anyway. So this track is, like I was talking to you about shocking people. So this is, I'm not going to talk much about it. It's Profane, and it's called Drumada. That's it. Profane is Canadian, and he's gorgeous, and I love him dearly. And I can't wait for his next project, but this is who he is. This is what he's about. Dex, I'm so sorry, mate. I forgot to shout you. When I did the list of all the bloody hospital people, I'm so sorry, my brother. So he's who I run med school with, and I went through the whole list of staff, and the one guy that I actually knew before I joined hospital, I forgot to shout. So Dex, I love you. I hope you're doing all right.
It's a special mention.
It's a special mention. I love you, man. I'm really sorry I forgot. And I hope you're doing all right without me, brother. Shout out to Different Music. Check it. Okay, so this is a world exclusive. I don't know whether I'm actually, because it's not been fully sorted yet. So I'm not going to say the name of the artist, and I hope he forgives me for this. But yeah. So this is something forthcoming on Inperspective. So pay attention, because I'm not going to say the name of this artist, but you will know in about 2-3 months, hopefully. Yeah.
And how does one
That's a beautiful
slay dragons in the world today?
One. So is it? I think we've got a couple more left, maybe? Yeah. Yep, cool. Sorry guys, I know the guys for the next show. I'm really sorry. Sorry. But I've never been here. It's first time to Hong Kong. So can I take over your show as well? Is that all right? No? Okay, all right. Shut up, Chris.
By realizing that their fiery breath is blasted into the minds of men.
So this is by me, and it's called Dragons in the World, and it's on the EP I'm doing called Dragons in the World. That's out on the 28th of June. So you'll be able to pre-order it. Well, now actually, you can online everywhere and pre-save and all that sort of thing.
But these dragons are very clever, as is their master.
Yeah, so I'm just gapping between the samples. So yeah, so this is out on Inperspective, 28th of June. Dragons in the World by Chris Inperspective. Yeah, my first EP on Inperspective. Yeah, I've only ever had one tune on there, and then I just decided, I made a promise to Helen actually that I was going to make more music for my label. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
They have so destroyed the power of the intellect so as to make men think they don't exist. 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 Slade. Dragons in the world today.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Etc., etc., etc. Crazy beats, blah, blah.
Okay, so because time is of the essence, we are
Yes.
going to have one more question for you before we end things.
Right.
Right.
It's not an astrophysical one, is it? Okay.
Maybe.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, Chris, what do you say to people who are afraid to stray from the beaten path, to stray off
Straight off
from
the
the beaten path and find their own voice?
Get a torch. Yeah,
You're gonna need it.
Because if you've strayed off the beaten path, you're going to be going into some deep, dark bush somewhere, right? So, and I don't know where this analogy is going, but that's what I would say. Just open your mind up to new things, new ideas. If you don't like what you hear, fine. But at least be prepared to have a listen. At least give people a chance. You know, if you see a DJ that you might not have heard of, or you see someone that you think, I don't know, whatever, fuck it, just pay your money and go and see them anyway. This music needs supporting, yeah? Otherwise it's going to be gone in the next 10 years. And, you know, I just think people just need to just support all of it. If you're supporting Dimension and Focus and whatever, you can fucking support Profane Lynch Kingsley, Future T. You can support Rupture. You can support Unchained. You can support all the guys that are representing underground shit too. That's what I'll say. So get a fucking torch and get off that path, because we all know where that road's going. You know where it's going. We've been there before. It's like the Matrix. You've been down that road, Leo. You know exactly where it goes. Yeah? So get a torch. That's what I would say.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way to wrap things up. And we are super excited to have you on Saturday in Shenzhen for
wait.
the Outlook
And it's
launch party.
Shenzhen, right? I've been
Shenzhen.
pronouncing Shenzhen.
Shenzhen.
Yeah, I've been mispronouncing it. I've been Shenzhen. But I'm pronouncing the
Whatever.
Z.
As long as people
No,
understand.
Shenzhen. I want to say it right.
Shenzhen.
Cool.
Okay, so this Saturday, Outlook Shenzhen launch party.
Oil Club.
We'll have Oil Club,
Yeah.
we'll have NTC1, Itoa, Dan Cizo, and lots of talented local DJs and artists and VJs. So come, and this guy.
Yeah.
But who cares?
Yeah, no one cares. No one cares. It's fine. But I'll be on at 11:30. Please come. Please come. Please come. Imagine I've travelled so far. I spent 12 hours in Abu Dhabi on Ramadan. I just want to make that clear. 40-degree heat. Can't drink. Can't smoke. Can't drink. Can't smoke. Can't eat in public. So I'm just saying. Not knocking it. Just saying that was hard. But anyway, thank you for having me, Abby.
Thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
Yeah,
It was
I really,
fun.
really enjoyed it.
Beautiful tunes.
Yeah.
Beautiful chat.
Yeah. Too
Let's
much
go
probably.
eat.
yeah, no, let's go get some food. Oh my god, more food. It's great. Man, I tell you, this place is amazing for food. Brilliant. Come to Hong Kong, everyone. Love this city. Peace.